What's going on, Jets fans? Welcome into NYJ today. End of day 5 and day 6 of training camp. And the scary news at the end of practice, which just concluded a few minutes ago, guard Cameron Clark, the 4th round pick in the 2020 draft, suffered some sort of neck injury. There are, no news in regards to what the injury was specifically, but he had to be taken off the practice field with a spine board and was escorted off the field in an ambulance. So very, very scary stuff. Prayers go out to him. And again, if prayer is not your thing, just, keep him in your thoughts. And we're wishing him the very best, full recovery, hopefully. And again, just thinking about Cameron Clark right now. I wanted to reflect a little bit on day 5 of training camp. We had a lot of news specifically regarding, Zach Wilson and Alijah Moore, the connection that these two seem to have and the chemistry that they're currently building. I don't want to get too ahead of myself because that's typically not the kind of thing that I do. But I will say, guys, that they seem to have, a lot of, and we already knew this, before training camp began, but so much, potential here between the two of them, not just, them individually by themselves. The two of them together could form one of the best, quarterback wide receiver duos in the NFL in a couple of seasons and maybe even sooner rather than later. We don't know what's going to happen ultimately, but right now the early reports are that nobody can cover Alijah Moore. He just seems to be so explosive. His route running is incredible. And so he's just making big plays happen at practice. And so I will urge everybody to not, completely freak out, not to, start throwing out crazy proclamations that he's going to be, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Of course he could reach that potential, but we just don't know yet. Too soon to call, obviously. But man, if you're a Jets fan, and I'm assuming you are if you're watching this, you have to be so encouraged and so excited by the news that these two are just clicking right off the bat. I ultimately don't think it changes much in the way that the Jets will approach their offensive scheme. I think that him playing well will earn him more downs played and more reps early in the season. I wasn't projecting him to really get going until maybe week 4 or 5, maybe even week 6. But this guy might be too good to keep off the field. That's the thing that you keep reading from the New York, media and just from fans that have attended the practices. The guy might be too explosive and too good to keep off the field. And that does not mean that he's going to play every single down. He's going to play, probably somewhere between 50 to 60% of the snaps, I would imagine, this upcoming season. And that sounds low. But, just keep in mind that even the most elite wide receivers don't play, 90% and above of the snaps. It's just not physically possible. They need a breather. So Alijah Moore is going to get on the field, and he's going to make big plays. Karl Lawson, I think, guys, is somebody that we have to talk about. He is absolutely kicking ass at Jets training camp. And again, I have not been personally to the practices, but I've been watching and I've been reading the highlights and the reportings of other people. And right now, everybody is suggesting that this guy simply can't be blocked. Sheldon Rankins was he was being interviewed yesterday after practice, and he basically just said, let's address the elephant in the room. Nobody's blocking Karl Lawson. And again, when you think back to free agency and you look at the analytics for Karl Lawson, they suggest that he is one of the premier edge rushers in the National Football League. And a lot of fans that don't do their homework will scoff at that, and they'll say, oh, look at his sack numbers. That doesn't measure up to what you're saying. And yeah, it's true. But look at the hits on the quarterback. Look at the pressures on the quarterback. He's in the top 5 of both of those categories. So we want him to stay healthy. We want all of our players to stay healthy. And so he just needs to stay on the field. And I think we can really expect potentially a Pro Bowl season, a 10-plus sack season from Karl Lawson. And again, the thing that gets me so hyped up is Quinnen Williams isn't even out there yet. What are opposing offensive lines going to do when they have to protect the edge and the interior versus Karl Lawson and Quinnen Williams? that is an absolute nightmare matchup for any offensive line. I don't care how good it is. That's a problem. That's a headache. And it's going to keep coaches up at night trying to figure out how to come up with a blocking scheme to adequately, protect their quarterbacks. And then, just the other thing I wanted to touch on is Bryce Hall, I feel like, is, the thing that I keep reading and I keep hearing and the clips that I've seen is he's doing a pretty nice job, of sticking his man. I saw that he did a very nice job in his coverage versus Corey Davis today. If Bryce Hall can get going, guys, and I know that he's not going to be able to play 2 cornerback positions this season, but even if we've got a really solid cornerback in Bryce Hall, man, it's something that we can really get excited about. Our defense, we know the pass rush is almost certainly going to be really good. If we can get some secondary guys to step up, obviously the young secondary guys, man, potential is through the roof for this defense. I'm going to temper expectations. I want to see these guys on the field. But let me know what you guys think about training camp so far. I think that those are the big topics. Karl Lawson and Alijah Moore, I think they're just absolutely stealing the show. The other, before I end the video, I do want to talk a little bit about Mekhi Becton and Alijah Vera-Tucker. The reports, again, suggest that these two are kicking a lot of ass on the left side. And again, that's something that we all kind of were expecting and hoping for because we spent two top 14 draft picks on these guys in consecutive drafts. If they can pan out and if they can dominate the left side, it's kind of like the Karl Lawson, Quinnen Williams dynamic. Defenses are going to have a really hard time stopping runs to the left and even screens to the left. They were talking about how they did a screen pass to the left side, and those two were leading the way, blocking. So just tons and tons of excitement right now for the New York Jets. Again, don't want to forget, please, again, keep Cameron Clark in your thoughts, in your prayers, wishing him the best and hoping that he gets a clean bill of health from the doctors. Let me know what you guys think about day 5 and day 6 of training camp. Thank you guys so much for watching. Oh, and great news, 1,000 subscribers on the channel. Can't thank you enough for all the support, guys. Leave a comment. I will get back to you guys. Go Jets. See you guys next time.